Hello everyone. I'm going to wait for everybody to join the live before, we really get stuck into what this episode is. But I'm so excited to be here. I have not gone live in a very, very long time. Hi. Welcome. Welcome. Hello. So welcome to Mind With Me episode 22, I think. Hi. So this particular episode, thank you. This particular episode, yes, it's Miss Universe Australia. My face when I say it, my cheeks hurt. I just wanted to quickly jump on here. I want to introduce this episode because this one is special, okay? So I've got OG followers on here. Hello. Thank you for the sweet words. I've got OG followers on here who have joined me every week for 6 months, right? 6 months where we've done Mind With Me, and every single week we come on here and we talk about things that matter, okay? We talk about things that affect all of us, right? And we've grown this little community. Hi, Renee. Hi, Sonia. We've grown this little community, and now with this honor of being Miss Universe Australia, this community has exploded. So this episode is dedicated to everyone, new and old, who are joining this community, and I wanted to spend time getting to know each other a little bit better. If you want to know anything about me or my values or what I'm here for or what this community is about, ask me. And what I want to know from you is how I, not only someone who is, taking away the Miss Universe title for a minute, okay? I want to be someone that when I speak and when I get us together, you see yourself in this community, no matter where in the world you're from, no matter what your social identity is. So I want this to be the kind of community where it's built on respect. It's built on valuing different perspectives. We can come here and we can talk about anything, but that's how we're going to drive change. That's how we're going to drive growth. And now tying it back to the Miss Universe Australia title, yes, I am very, very honored to now be representing my country. But beyond that, for everyone who's here, I want you to know I don't only represent Australia, but I am representing our universe. And this community now, I want it to represent all of us, no matter where in the world we're from. So let's talk. Welcome to the Mind With Me community. This is a safe space for everybody to come. Initially, it started off talking about, topics like racism and bullying and things that were happening in the world. And then people started coming here and they were making friends. And it was a weekly thing that we looked forward to. So, it's pretty exciting. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read people's comments and I'm going to start talking, and please just let's have a conversation. And as always, respect, love, speaking to each other as you would want to be spoken to. That is what this community is built on. Support people who come on here and they have the courage to speak their truth. I'm very excited. And there were a couple of questions. Oh my God, I'm so you're gonna have to get used to me being like a giggly schoolgirl because I'm so excited. Just wanted to say that it's my birthday. Happy birthday, Saleh Ahmed 07. Happy to see you. You're amazing. Thank you, Valentina. Ma'am, I love your personality. So what is your take on the Universe Sisterhood? Who are you in touch with so far from your Miss Universe 2020 batch? Within Australia, I'm in touch with, women from all over the country. I have to say, the girls in the program are phenomenal. I love them. We've built friendships that transcended borders. And I've already, we've been looped into a WhatsApp group chat with the other Miss Universe queens from South Africa, Canada, all the other countries. My take on the Miss Universe Sisterhood reflects my take on sisterhood in general. I don't believe in looking at women doing something together. Even in the Miss Universe program, I don't believe in looking at it as competition. This is women. What are we here for, right? And I know for me anyway, I'm participating in this because I have a message to spread, and it's love, it's confidence, it's women supporting women. So, seeing Nova Stevens, shooter from South Africa, these are women I'm like, yes, I'm cheering you on. I will be their biggest supporter because that's what we're here to do. And yes, ultimately you are competing for a title, but their success is my success. So what I want to say on that, because the pageant community is very passionate, you know, I see people having opinions, and it's so okay to have opinions on, you know, who your favorite queen is and what you're entitled to all of that. But always do it with the lens of respect and love, because just remember that, you know, these are human beings. Don't dehumanize them by saying things that are hurtful, and ultimately one woman's success is a success for all women. So we should be happy and take pride in that and celebrate that. That's my take on the Miss Universe sisterhood. Your question, have you talked to any Miss Universe contestants? Yes, been in a group chat, talked to a couple of them in the DMs. I became friends with a couple of other national contestants from other countries. So Karishma from South Africa, Bussy, I was talking to a few of them. Joanna from Great Britain. I've been speaking to last year Miss Universe winners. So Alyssa Boston, had gotten in touch with Sierra Birchall. Wonderful women, wonderful. How does it feel to have the title Miss Universe Australia? What does that mean for you, and what responsibility comes with it? I can't put into words how it feels to have this title because I'm still processing. It's a very big honor, but I'll tell you what the responsibility means to me. And just know that when we're speaking, because this is Mind with me, I want to generalize it to my bigger views of the world and things that I believe for this community as well. The responsibility that I have as Miss Universe Australia is no different to the responsibility that I had before I had won the title. It's no different to the responsibility I had when I was just working as a digital creator with the platform. And it's no different to the responsibility I had before I even got social media. We all have a responsibility to be using our voice, to be using the resources we have, to be using the platforms we have, to be doing things that progress all of us as a collective. So as Miss Universe Australia, now I've got, you know, a microphone for this voice. I'm going to Miss Universe, and if I'm successful there, I have a global microphone. And all I'm going to be doing is championing the same things that I felt responsible for before any of you knew who I was. It's equality, it's empowerment, it's inclusion, it's love, it's peace, it's friendship, it's sisterhood. It's a world where people just, you know, no matter where you are or where you come from, your future is yours, and you feel like you belong, and you feel like you have the ability to do whatever it is you want to do in life. So that's how I see it. Thank you, Laura. Kathy, I'm just reading everybody's sweet messages. So, what's your strategy during Corona pandemic with your title? Why did you want to represent Australia? I'm just going through, there are so many comments. I don't know how to keep up. Let me just have a read of some of these. I've chatted to Adeline. She's beautiful. Okay, a lot of people are asking me questions about the Miss Universe program, but I want to talk about, and I will talk about it. I will answer your questions. I might do a separate Q&A there, but there are lots of questions coming through. I want to talk community for Mind with me. When you're speaking to me, I want you to ask me, what do you want? If you were able to talk directly to a world leader and you wanted to ask them for something, okay? What would you ask them for? What do you want from a community that you belong to? Let's talk about that. Okay, so how does it feel to represent a dynamic new hybrid community of mixed nationality or culture? It is incredible to be representing a dynamic mix. And I'm going to say one thing. For those of you who don't know a lot about Australia, we are one of the most multicultural societies in the world. We are built on immigration, and we are enriched by the history and the culture of our First Nations people. So we're a powerhouse. So what I represent, I don't believe I just represent Australia. I believe I represent the universe, because this country is built up of people that come from all the lands on earth. So when we're thinking of what do I stand here as, I'm not just representing a child of immigrants, a daughter of, you know, people who had come to a new country and settled. I'm not just representing a hybrid culture. I'm representing what it is to be a global citizen in this world today. And I'm proud of that. So proud of that. Goals for the future. Why do you deserve to? Okay. I'm just, Troy. Troy's on Mind with me. Hi guys. So getting a couple of questions now on, we're talking about Mind With Me, we're talking about community, we're talking about what would we be asking, world leaders, if you could have an impact and directly talk to them and say, what do you want from your community? I want you guys to start having these conversations. So if young generations want to help, or LGBTIQ communities want, people are asking questions about these groups, I just want to say what I believe in is creating spaces where, irrespective of your social identity, you feel safe to come forward, to use your voice, to speak your truth. And I think what we need to be talking about in general, and this is why I've tried to do these Mind With Me episodes for 6 months now, what we need to be doing is we need to be creating a space where everybody has a voice. Because how are you going to represent young people if you don't have young people at the decision-making table? How are you going to represent people from the LGBTI community if they are not there at the table speaking for themselves? We can't have a community or a society that serves everybody if we are excluding certain people from that arena. So what I'm going to be doing through Mind With Me and through my other initiative that I'm going to be working on over the course of the year, through Miss Universe, in my job, wherever I am, and what I would hope that all of you can go away and do, is you are going to be creating spaces for this by amplifying voices that have not been amplified. Listen, learn, share, educators, create spaces where everybody can come and have a voice. That's what we need to be doing. So when I'm asked questions on that, I think that's how I believe in it. Bear with me 1 minute. I need to just take off my phone charger. So what is your take on the importance of social media and its impact on global leadership? So social media is so powerful, okay? It's so powerful. And it's been the way that I think I've been able to connect with so many of you over the past 6 months. I've been in lockdown for 8 months. And I know that a lot of people have very polarized and mixed ideas on social media, but one thing I want to encourage in this community with Mind With Me anyway is I would love for you all to just not some issues, right? It's very clear, okay, there's a right and there's a wrong, or there's a black and there's a white. When it comes to things that are, okay, it's a matter of human rights that are being violated, it's a matter of people and groups being oppressed, then I think, okay, there are some times that we have to view it that way because we need to stand up for what's right. But what I would say is, for some issues like social media, you get questions like, is social media inherently good or bad? Can I ask that all of you go forward and think about these issues in not such a polarized way, because generally, it's a spectrum. And someone's just asked, what do you think of social media and global leadership? Well, yes, social media can have its downsides, as anything can, but it depends on how you use it. It depends on who's using the medium and what's happening there. So for me, I think social media is a phenomenal opportunity to show up as a leader globally. Because, and I've said this in an interview before, when I'm talking about social media, for me, it's close to my heart, because social media is the place that I had a voice before I could have a voice anywhere. And I didn't feel heard in traditional media, not in print, magazine, radio, and social media came up, and all of a sudden I didn't need permission to say and speak what I believed. So social media then became an opportunity to use that, to get galvanized, to use it in a way that serves. So for all of you who are watching this, whether you've got 5 followers or 5 million, social media is an opportunity for you to show up as a leader. And you don't need anything. You just need an internet connection. So I think it's a phenomenal opportunity in global leadership. Do you think that the current scenario in global leadership is a true representation of common people? Not necessarily, no. I think we have absolutely phenomenal people in global leadership positions. I think we could still do more though. And that's why I think, you know what we need to do? We need to be looking at, okay, perhaps the way into traditional leadership positions might be a little bit more difficult. I keep talking about creating space. That means creating opportunity, even if the opportunity isn't there. A lot of people might have looked at the Miss Universe platform, and I remember when I told some people at work that I was doing it, they're like, huh? What do you mean? And they didn't understand it. But that to me is something that you can use to create a leadership opportunity. You can create opportunity, you can give a voice to other people, and you can have a voice for yourself. So when we're talking about global leadership and wanting to have more representation, I think if you feel like there isn't adequate representation, go forward and use another medium unconventionally to do that. So it's exciting, you know? Oh, thank you for the sweet words. In an interview, you said you would use the $20,000 to help your social media startup. Can you talk more about the mission, values, and purpose behind this? Look at my face when I talk about it. My cheeks are about to explode. So yes, I will absolutely talk about that. So Mind With Me, I just want to say Mind With Me has been a life-changing thing for me. It is undoubtedly the most cherished thing that I get to do on social media. I want to be evolving Mind With Me into a podcast. But beyond that, Mind With Me, I thought it would just be a live where we come in and, you know, I have a chat to you about these issues, but it became a community. It became a community where people came, found their voices, people came and met friends. So I was inspired to turn that into a real space through my startup. So what I had been doing in the lead up to Miss Universe Australia is strategizing. And I have some stories to tell you about this. Along the lines of manifestation and how this really, it feels like destiny. Mind With Me inspired my vision for a social enterprise that I'd been working on strategizing, and obviously in the past week or two, planning has had to be halted because it's been a crazy couple of days, but I'm going to be meeting the Miss Universe organization. I want to be telling them a little bit more about it and working out the best possible way to invest this generous grant from MindSpec Parts. How do I invest it in a way that sets up this business so that we can have impact globally? So in essence, I'll give you the mission and the vision. The mission and the vision is to empower women and girls to live confident, conscious, and intentional lives where they can go forward and make change in their lives, and they're backed by a community. So what this business is, the vision and the mission for it in essence, is to give you a space where you can show up as a leader in your own life right now. And I'm so excited, and I believe in it so much. And you know, there are some spooky timely coincidences and timelines and things I'd written in a journal a year ago before I even knew I wanted to do this that lined up a year to the day, a year after I'd written something. A significant milestone happened. I will share more on that, but I have so much to teach and to show you, and I can't wait to do that. Thank you so much. For me, you're special on and off screen. You have a beautiful and calming aura about you, which mesmerizes me. Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to meet all the women. Yes, Miss Philippines, Miss India, Miss all of them. I cannot wait to meet these women. They're going to be sisters. I can't wait. Podcast, are you a Bratz doll? No. Okay. Do you think mental health has been overlooked for so long and we're now struggling with mind positivity and social relevance? I think mental health we know it's been overlooked. We know mental health's been overlooked, and that's a generational thing. So if you guys go into my Mind With Me series, you'll see that there was an episode called Opening the Dialogue on mental health conversations and starting to talk about it. And when we think about mental health, it is such a diverse, complex, multifaceted, nuanced topic that it's not just mental health conditions. It is, you know, disordered thinking. It covers so much. So when I speak about it, I'm going to be doing dedicated episodes to these different things because we're all going through something. And, you know, if you exist, if you're alive, there are things that you need to be doing to preserve your mental health. There are times where your mental health has been compromised, absolutely. And I think the reason we've overlooked it for so long is because of the generational differences in terms of how mental health was understood and perceived. And, you know, probably more accurately, the lack of understanding. I think previous generations did not have the same access to resources that we do. They did not understand mental health in the same way that we do, and therefore it was stigmatized. And therefore, you know, people couldn't feel like they could speak up to get help. And even now we're experiencing challenges with making that transition. So the only way to overcome this is to speak, talk, normalize it, share our experiences. I talked about how in lockdown for the first 6 weeks, everyone's like, yes, positivity. But I have no shame in saying for the first 6 weeks of lockdown, I was going to bed at 4 a.m. every single night because I couldn't sleep and I was so anxious. I was getting up right at, 8:59 on the dot when I had to start work at 9 o'clock and log on because I was struggling to cope. I couldn't exercise, and you all know fitness is a big part of my life. I was struggling, and we all do. And I'm a pretty happy, energetic person, but there's no shame in saying that. And I think even going through the Miss Universe, navigating this new journey, I will be speaking to a mental health professional if I feel like at any point my health is compromised, because I deserve access to healthcare, and that includes taking care of my mind. And that's what I want you all to think and to know. Thank you for the sweet words. Thank you. When you answer questions in Miss Universe, don't exaggerate, as there's only 30 seconds. Absolutely. Thank you for the feedback. And I won't. But right now, I'm here talking to my community. You guys are my friends now. We're friends and we're speaking. So I'm excited, and we're going to babble along. Oh, gosh. Oh, yes. Eileen, I remember. So guys, I have a blog, and I started this blog 2 years ago. And Eileen said, I remember reading your blog post about having your life planned out, reading your old journal, and think you'd be married at 25. Was Miss Universe foreshadowed in this journal? What I want you all to know in this community, right? When you're thinking about life, I used to be a very type A planner, and it was like, okay, when I was 18, I said, I'm going to go to university. I'm going to finish my psychology degree, do my honors program, do my PhD, and I'll be a clinical psychologist. I'm married at 25, living with my own dog. I have my dog. But, life did not plan out. It did not pan out in the way that I had expected. And if there's anything I can say to you is, yes, I struggled with it a lot when I was, younger, and things were not going the way that I thought. But I firmly believe, for anyone here, if you're going through something, if perhaps a marriage has broken down, if you thought you'd have kids by now, but you don't, if you've lost a job, a dream opportunity, if you want to go back to study, but you think you're too old, no matter what walk of life you're from or what you're doing, can I just please remind you to take the power in unpredictability. There is power in ending up in a situation where, hang on, I didn't plan this. I don't know what's coming. And potentially there's uncharted horizons, right? And you don't know what's going to happen, and you don't know how you're going to do it. That, and I said this in my final word because I believe it so much. I know that things can look like an abyss of fear. It's scary, it's uncertain. But if you change your perspective on uncharted horizons, that can absolutely be the birthplace of opportunity. And your life can go in a way that you never planned. So had I stayed stuck and ruminated on the fact that I'm not married at 25 and I'm not a psychologist yet and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my career, I would not have forayed into social media, would not be sitting here as Miss Universe Australia right now, and would not have realized that my career was not meant to be a psychologist. It's meant to be a speaker. I'm going to be a founder, because I'm going to be setting up my business in a year, and I'm going to be someone who drives change on a much bigger level than I could have ever anticipated. So if you're struggling with something, I promise you, the difference between getting lost in that struggle or conquering it is your mindset. Please don't stay in a place of loss or lack. You don't have to. I'm sorry I talked so long on that, but that is so important to me. And I really cannot emphasize the point on mindset enough. Thank you, Sasha, my love. OG girl. Okay, there's a lot coming through. Can we be friends? Yes, we are friends. What do you think Australia has to offer the world? Do you think your values align with that of Miss Universe in terms of sexualizing women? Oh, a good question. I'm so sorry. There's so many, but I'm just going to try and answer shorter. Do you think your values align with that of Miss Universe in terms of sexualizing women or implying appearance as a center focus? Let's stop and take a minute to step back. Miss Universe, women like myself, we go there and we take pride in our appearance. I walked in a swimsuit with complete confidence in my body, in a body that has been sexualized by other people for my entire life. In a body that was told, you're not thin enough, you're not tall enough, you're not fair enough. But I walked with pride in that body. I showed up in feeling like my most beautiful, powerful self. And the fact that I'm doing that on Miss Universe is no different to me doing that when I'm walking on a beach, to me walking down the street when I'm on the way out for a drink with my friends, when I'm in the shops walking, feeling good in jeans and a pair of boots. Like, it's, what I'm trying to say is the fact that women are sexualized is not because of anything that we do. And we do not deserve to be sexualized for our choices, because for far too long, what happens to us, how we're perceived, how, you know, we belong in society, and understanding where we can and can't take up space, that has been dictated by people outside of us. So if a woman wants to walk in her body with pride, no matter where that is, that aligns to my values of owning who we are with pride, being confident and being strong and powerful, because that's what women are. And being sexualized and, you know, the focus on appearance and things like that, it's only ever construed in a negative way by people external to us. Why is it that when we hear music where a woman is talking about her sexuality, there is uproar? But when we see rappers talking about it in a derogatory, sexualized, sleazy way, we sing along. It's because as a society, we are so used to other people telling women how and when they can be confident, how and when they can be sexual, feminine, and I don't align with that. My values are, as a woman, as a man, as a human being, you're the person who gets to decide how feminine, masculine, sexual, powerful, confident, strong. It's up to you. Pay no mind to what other people have to say about you. So I really mean that fully. Cannot stress that enough. I wish I can communicate my mind like you. Well, you have a space where you can come here and communicate it, and we can talk together. Okay, I'm just going through. There's a lot. Ariana Grande. It's very nice. I'm going to continue to make YouTube videos now. And I've just recorded one and I've uploaded it. It's not going live yet because I need you to see the official shots in my crown. But I'll show it yet. Okay, there's so many things coming through. What advice would you give to your younger self? Yes, 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 yes. Okay. I love you guys so much. Let me just talk now. There's so many. Oh my gosh. This live will be saved. Okay. So, what advice would I give to my younger self? What advice would I give to you? I'll tell you. And I'm going to tell you a quick story. When I was in primary school, I was such a shy, timid little girl. And I often get emotional when I talk about what I've done, because, like, all these achievements, because I think of that little girl and I think of what she would have needed. And oh my God, I'm getting emotional right now. It means a lot to me to be doing this because I never had that when I was growing up. It really genuinely does make me very emotional. So I actually have written an article for a teen magazine and it's going live in March, so it's a while from now. But I was asked to give advice to my younger self. And often when I'm speaking on here and I'm saying these things, I'm saying the things that little Maria, teen Maria, would have needed to hear when she was growing up. And I think, like, it's so important to be what you need. And I'm proud of myself for doing that. I'm proud of myself. Love you, Troy. Chat to you soon. I'm proud of myself. What I would say to young girls is, no matter who you are, no matter what your past is, no matter where in the world you're growing up, if you're growing up in a family that might not have that much money, if you're growing up in a world that tells you you're not beautiful, that's telling you you can't do this, or in a world where you can't see yourself in leadership positions, your past and your circumstances do not define you. The only person that defines you and that defines your future is you. And I promise you, I am living proof of that, because I'm so proud of my parents. They came to this country, they worked for every single thing I have. And because of them, I never wanted for anything. At times, you know, through their struggles, I still was provided for. I learned the value of hard work. I grew up in a time where I did not see people who looked like me in any of these spheres. And, you know, wanting to feel beautiful and things like that, I couldn't, because not only of my skin, but the fact that, and even now, you see the conversations around height. You know, she doesn't deserve to be here. This is how she looks, and it was all these my worth and my future and my value growing up, it was always discussed as being rooted in how I looked or my social identity. So I just grew up and decided that I'm not buying into that illusion, and I'm going to transcend this social identity, because at the end of the day, it is a construct. And at the end of the day, I am so much more than what you think I am. And the same goes for you. We are all the same. We're all connected. And this aligns to my spiritual beliefs, which I will do a video on. But ultimately, we're all energy, okay? And when you strip away our bodies and when this life passes and we leave our physical vessels, our consciousness, our spirit, and however you want to perceive it, that's what's left, and we are all one. We belong to each other. So when we talk about other people and say, you're not as beautiful, you don't have that much value, you are saying that to yourself, because we are the same. We're brothers and sisters, but we're actually one. We're connected to every living thing in this world. So for me, that it's really important to emphasize that. It's remember that we're all one, and anyone who tries to box you into anything and tries to put you in a okay, this is where you belong. You aren't as good and you don't deserve as much because you're here, you're there. Anyone who tries to do that to you, remember that they are operating from the limitations of their mind, and you have a gift where you can show them how untrue that is just by being you. And if I was able to do that, you know, just if I could do that, then why can't you? You can. I manifested this, like all of this. And when I say manifestation, I don't mean, you know, is anyone else having the live cut stop mid-talk from their side? Oh no, Wandili. Hi, my love. I'm so sorry it's cutting out. Tell me if it's cutting. But when I talk about manifestation, and I want to do so many talks on this too, but, oh, it's cutting out. Is it? Oh no. So when I talk about manifestation, I'm talking about, it's not just, I would like to be this, I would like to be that. Everything I've manifested is by telling myself, I am this, I am this. And my energy is gratitude and inspiration and enlightenment. And then I work my butt off to make it a reality. So when you align your energy with your intention, with your action, I promise you with every fiber of my being, your life will transform. I promise you it will, because that's what I've done that's what's happened to me. And I just saw a question that is, what age do you think you found what your calling was? When you felt you knew what you truly wanted to do in life? So I'll tell you a story because I think this is going to, I want you guys to be thinking about this. So Is This Metahuman by Deepak Chopra? I've been reading a lot of books, and I'll quickly just give you a slight overview, but I will talk about, you know, your calling and what your purpose is. When I was younger, I was very, like I said, I was very shy, pretty timid. And then when I was in high school, I felt like I really needed to overcompensate for that. And, you know, to fit in with my friends, I needed to be super loud. And I had this like alter ego where I was not being myself, but I was loud and I wanted to be everybody's friend. And I wanted to, you know, I really just was trying to be what I thought everybody else wanted. But in that, one thing I really liked to do was talk to people. And I remember being 14, 15, 16, and I would talk to people on MSN. Don't know who remembers MSN, but I would talk to people on MSN way late into the night when, you know, other kids in school or friends in other high schools would have problems, and they'd be like, this is what I'm going through, and I just want to give advice. And I really liked being able to listen and talk to them. And I remember my high school boyfriend at the time saying, if you need to talk to somebody for advice, talk to Maria. Like, and it was sweet. Like, I was only young then. But even when I was a little girl, okay? And I mean like 9, 10, 11, God bless my parents, but when they would argue, because parents do, and not everyone has, you know, the family dynamics are different. When I was 9, 10, or 11, I would sit with my parents, and I remember I used to try and explain to them why they shouldn't argue. And I remember my dad one time picking me up. They were having an argument, and after I said this to him, he picked me up and he carried me out of the room, and he was like, darling, you're wise beyond your years. 10 years old, I remember that. And then I remember in high school loving that. My brother's the same, very wise. Probably, I think he's more wise than I am. And then when I finished high school, I thought I was going to do biomedical science. I thought I would want to be a doctor or something like that. Yes, to the MSN status update. I thought I wanted to be a doctor. I got into biomedical science, but then I thought, I think I want to do psychology because it's more aligned to what I'm interested in. So I did my psychology degree. I'm so proud of myself. And this is one thing I also want to say, women, men, or whatever it is, can you please own your successes and not think you're bragging, you're this, you're that. We tell people all the time, dream big, do better, be confident. But then when they are, we put them down. Own your successes with pride. I graduated from psychology and I got into the honors program. And I started doing the honors program, but then I realized, ooh, something in my gut, you guys. Like I loved psychology, loved studying it, all the different elements of it, neuroscience, social psychology, occupational organization, and loved it. But when I started to do the honors program, I thought to myself, I started feeling sick in my stomach about the prospect of now I'm going to have to go into private practice and work. And something in my gut didn't feel right about it, did not feel right. So I actually dropped out halfway of the honors program, which is a big deal because I never drop out of anything. And I'm very like type A high achiever, but I dropped out of it. And then I took 2 years off. And I worked and I thought, what do I enjoy? I loved fashion. And I started working as a store manager for Bardo. Bardo is a fashion brand, and I worked in Northland in the shopping center. And I worked as a store manager, a retail store manager. It was my first full-time job, and it was managing people, right? And it was like managing girls, and I just figured it out that I really loved it. I loved being able to motivate the girls, and it was motivating them for our sales target, but it was to create a really fun team where we all genuinely wanted to work hard. And I realized, man, I could do that. I could motivate people. And our stores always did well. And I managed a couple of their stores in Victoria. And then your energy is Jamaican from Summer High Time. Yes. And then after that, I realized I thought, okay, I like managing people. I like psychology. Maybe I'll go into HR. And I went to Melbourne Uni and I did my master's degree in HR. And you guys, I worked my butt off. Like those 2 years was so hard. I got sick all the time because I probably worked a little bit too hard. I missed out on a lot. But I did it because in my head I said, Maria, knuckle down. I was not present on social media because I thought I really want to do well in this degree. It's expensive, you guys. It was an expensive degree. And I thought if I do well, maybe I can get some kind of a scholarship. And I graduated with first class honors, and half my degree ended up being subsidized based on academic merit. I was then offered I was nominated for a scholarship to Harvard to do another degree of my choice. Based on that, it was a particular award with Melbourne Uni, but I thought to myself, I don't want to study again because it was so hard and it took so much. And towards the end of that degree, I wanted to go and do makeup. I felt this creative calling. Like I just thought, oh, like I love makeup, I love fashion. And whilst I was doing my master's degree, I went to Napoleon Purtis and I did a makeup qualification. And I remember at the time, one of my peers at uni, let me just get rid of somebody who's being a little bit creepy. I remember at the time somebody saying to me, like a peer saying, oh no, are you going to be one of those makeup girls? Like a fellow master's student. And I was really like taken aback by that because it made me feel like, you mean that I can't be an academic and be a creative? I have to pick? And it's this idea that it's, women can't be everything, that these things are mutually exclusive. They're not. So I went and I did my makeup course. And I have to say, as much as I love study, when I was in that course and going to the classes every week, that's where I came alive. I was so passionate, so excited. So when I finished my makeup qualification and my master's, I started working as a retail makeup artist. I worked at Northland. I remember I worked in the kiosk in the shopping center. And, it was about taking clients who came to do their makeup and selling them the makeup. It was trying to get people to come into the store. And it was such a good beginning because I just felt like I learned so much in that time. And I really liked connecting with the women that I would do their makeup and just really like motivating them and making them feel beautiful. I enjoyed it. And then after that, I started posting on social media. And I didn't expect people to just really connect with it. And they connected with it because for them, they saw, okay, like this is a woman of color taking up space in the beauty world and I haven't seen that before. So wow, like I want to be, I want to follow that journey. And all of a sudden people started listening and I realized I love this and I have an opportunity to speak my truth. And finally, social media became a space where I got to have a voice without permission when I didn't see my voice represented in any other media sphere. I said it earlier, not TV, not radio, not magazines. And I realized social media is where I don't need permission to do that and to speak not only my truth, but to represent the experiences of so many other people. And then it started growing and I started speaking a little bit more about what I believed. And I just might, when you say, what is your calling? I'm going to quickly wrap this up, but I promise you, I started having conversations in the DM on here back in 2016, 2017. People just, I recognized that I was very blessed that people trusted me. And I had been, like, for example, I'd been messaging one girl for over a year who was dealing with bullying, and I recognized I had the ability to be there for her and to show up for her and to give her love, motivation, and the strength that, a safe space. If she needs someone, I'm there. And then all of a sudden more people started reaching out in the DMs and talking. And that's where I felt like I came alive. It was like, I'm talking to people, I'm connecting with them, and it's doing something meaningful. So yes, the makeup and the fashion and all of that was amazing and I love it. And, I want to encourage you to show up as your most confident, best creative self. But where I felt like this is what I need to be doing, it's when I was having private conversations and DMs with people, and it was the connection. That's what it was. So that grew, started speaking my truth a bit more. And then this year, I really realized I'm like, my calling, what I'm here for, I'm here to facilitate connection for people. I'm here to encourage people to live purpose-driven and service-oriented lives. And I'm here to help. And that's all that I want to do. That's why I'm doing Miss Universe. And you know what? Miss Universe is a part of that, but it's not everything. It's living this kind of, it's being someone who's purpose-driven and service-oriented and doing this. You can live your purpose in so many different ways. And I told myself, Maria, if the Miss Universe, if this journey isn't for you, that's okay. You can still live your purpose. And that's why Mind With Me was created. And that's why I put together a business plan and a strategy for an organization that I'm going to be setting up that enables me to do that. So for anyone who's out there, don't tune out those little things that you feel in your gut that's telling you, I shouldn't be here, something doesn't feel right. Or the signs that tell you I'm onto something. When you feel extremely inspired and your heart is bursting out of your chest when you're doing something, tune into that. Listen, follow the breadcrumbs, because that is going to lead you to where you need to be. Never, never, never never turn your back on your energy. Listen to it. How do you tune out people who bring you down and not let their words carry so much weight? It's harder to ignore or tune it out. So what I'm going to be doing is, with Mind With Me, this is a safe space where if you are incurring negativity, I want you to tell me what's going on with you and let's debunk it together. And I want to remind you of your power so you can overcome it. But I've got negativity all my life. You're always going to be too much or too little for someone. Just before Miss Universe, I read a post that someone had written about me. It was indirect, but it only came to my attention because someone tagged me in it, right? Let me just say, I've been talking about representation and diversity for years. And it's only after 4 or 5 years of doing it for free, because I love it and I believe in it, that in the last month, I'd gotten a couple of opportunities to do that in media, in a public sphere. I'm doing that for everyone who hasn't been represented, right? It's not just, I represent South Asian women. Yes, I do, but I don't just represent that. I represent other people who have not had a voice. And I'd been tagged in a post where I saw that somebody was speaking about me and saying that I was only getting these opportunities because I looked European, or I fly under the radar. I've been, unfairly chosen and things like that. And you read negativity, and it was so hurtful for me because it came from someone from my own community. And it was a shock. And no matter how much work you do or what you're doing, there are going to be people who will be negative towards you because not everyone has done the work to overcome their own limiting beliefs or to deal with their own, whatever's going on with them. And you have to just be empathetic and be loving and understand that they have their own journey to overcome these things. Anyone who puts out negativity into the world, it's because of unhealed energy within them, okay? Now, coming into this sphere, I've just put myself in a public spotlight on a global level where everyone's talking about me right now. And most of it, I'm very privileged to say it has been very positive. But believe me, I've read comments where people are like, look at this girl, her height, what does she think? She's not this, she's not worth it, she's nothing. Like, I've read comments like that about me because I've chosen to pursue my dreams in an industry where height matters traditionally. But all I have to say is hurt people hurt other people. I'm not a hurt person, okay? And I've worked very hard to heal myself. So when you see negativity, step outside of yourself where maybe you might respond emotionally because it's damaging your ego. It's damaging, your mental models of the world and where you fit in. If you can step outside of your own ego as a detached observer, you can see what's happening here and you can see that this is somebody operating out of their own limiting beliefs. So for me, knowing the power of energy and thoughts and actions, I'm not going to lower mine to interact with that because that's going to affect my reality. So all I'm going to do is bless them in my mind and wish them healing, wish them love. And I don't have to convince anyone of anything. No, you don't owe anyone anything. You don't have to convince anyone anything. All you have to do is be yourself. And it sounds so cheesy, but truly, when you feel like you constantly need to prove yourself or justify yourself to somebody, you're acting out of a significantly lower energetic level. You're acting out of a sense of lack and scarcity. I need to show them why I'm good enough. And no, you are good enough. You are good enough as you are. So lead by example. Don't convince someone. Just show them with your existence why you are everything you believe you are. And that's how I've managed to get it to this point. I think negativity, it has nothing to do with you. So please just detach from it. See it for what it is. Heal them, wish them blessings because your thoughts come back to you. How did you get to this high vibration state? How long did it take you to develop this self-love? I've been on a journey for a very long time, for years to heal. And it's very public because I've been on social media for a long time. And I've been sort of talking about how I've been unlearning conditioning to reject myself and things like that. But books, reading, education. Education isn't just going to school and tertiary, it's the education you get from life experiences and from books and from listening to people who are wise, that is invaluable. So I read a lot this year, and I believe, like I said, follow the breadcrumbs, trust your gut. The books that have come up for me, I've read one book which has led me to another, which has led me to another, which has led me to another. All these books have shaped my it's interesting because my parents are very Christian, they're very religious, and I don't identify as religious, I identify as spiritual. Because there are things that I take from many different religions that I identify with. We're talking about, Christianity emphasizes forgiveness, love one another as I have loved you. The Muslim faith talks about peace. It's like I take things from every single religion that I identify with to be a spiritual being. And that's what we are. So for me, I was reading these books and all of a sudden they started to affirm things that I already sort of in my gut knew about spirituality and things that I was believing. So it's books, it's my life experiences, and I believe that because I've asked the questions, I'll tell you, I'll go into my manifestation story another time, but I have a journal where I had written a year ago to myself, Maria, it was July 2019, and I'd written, Maria, what is your purpose? You want to be your higher self. How are you going to be your higher self? What are my unique capabilities that I can offer the world? And I didn't know. I just written it as questions. A year later to the date, I registered my business name. And I believe that when you ask questions, you get the answers. And I'll be sharing more on that. So thank you so much for the sweet words. Why would you say self-love is very important to be able to love others? Oh my gosh, for the Mind With Me community, because that's what you all are. Self-love is so important, because if you are not filling your own cup, you can absolutely, you're guaranteed to be able to not have enough to give other people. Because even then, if you don't love yourself and you're trying to do things for other people and love them when you don't love yourself, okay? This is my experience as a teenager. I didn't love myself, I rejected myself, but I was trying to show up for everybody else. The reason that doesn't work is because of the energy and the intention you are operating from. And the energy and the intention you're operating from when you don't love yourself but you're trying to love others is scarcity. You're trying to do something for them, not because you know you're enough and you have enough to give. You're doing it because you feel like you need to prove something to someone, you owe someone something. That's why what then happens in your life is it's not abundance. You're going to be attracting more scarcity. You have to love yourself and heal yourself before you can give to other people. Because the universe, you, I, every single experience, every thought, every action, it has an energetic vibration. You break us down, we are just atoms vibrating, spinning vortices of energy, okay? And when you break that down and you understand that, okay, what matters is not my actions, but it's the energy and the intention, that is what's connecting you to all your experiences in this universe. So if it's rooted in scarcity, you are going to attract more low vibrational scarcity. Love yourself. Heal yourself first. And then you, just by being yourself and loving yourself, you will just reach everyone. And you will shine a light on other people to be able to do that for themselves too. A life of service and heartfelt giving is so much more fulfilling than a life of consuming and taking. Absolutely. Oh, check questions box. What's a questions box? Oh my gosh, there are questions. I didn't know. Okay. What if everyone around you tells you you're not good enough? I think we've spoken about that. What do you think is the worry that occurs in the lives of what can you? I'm just reading. What? How can I be myself when I don't know who I am? It's a good one. Someone asked, how can I be myself when I don't know who I am? Let's start by honoring the fact that you have enough self-awareness to admit, I don't know who I am. So many people beat themselves up and say, I'm so disappointed about myself because I constantly put myself down and I compare myself and this and that. I think it's really important to realize that the energy, intention, I'm going to keep speaking about this to you, okay? If you are addressing this gap in knowledge of who you are and who you actually are, if you're addressing it with putting yourself down even more and saying, I don't know who I am, I'm frustrated at myself, you are not actually putting yourself in a position where you can start to have that question answered. You need to be able to switch that. And I'm going to talk to you a lot about reframing language because there's power in that. Reframe that and say, I am bloody proud of myself for being able to say, hey, maybe I need to do some work to figure out who I am and what matters to me. Maybe, I think I could be doing a better job in how I treat myself and go about what it is that I want. So start with reframing that frustration into gratitude, the highest possible energy, gratitude for knowing, hey, I have some work to do to figure out who I am. And then when you want to know who you are, the way to do that is to tune into energy because that doesn't lie. What sparks you? So my friends always make fun of me because they say I'm obsessed with careers, but it's not careers, it's goals, right? They say when you speak to someone, Maria, within 5 minutes, we can hear you talking to them about their goals. So whenever we're in like parties or public settings, they'll introduce me to someone, they'll come back and they'll be like, oh my God, she's talking about careers again. But I love the light in people's eyes when they talk about what they care about. So when you're thinking about that, the first thing I ask people when I'm like, what do you do or what do you want to do? I say, what sparks you? What do you care about? What do you really enjoy doing? And what would you do for free if you could do it for the rest of your life and not worry about money? So if you don't know who you are, pay attention to what your energy does when you speak about certain things, when you engage in certain activities, when you talk to certain people. And when you feel that sense of my heart is soaring out of my chest when I'm doing this, I really enjoy this, what is this? That's when you figure it out. For me, I realized that feeling of, oh my God, like inspiration, gratitude, like my energy was doing this, like pulsating when I was in my Napoleon classes. And I'm like, it's creative, it's expressive, it's owning, you know, these things about myself and doing it with confidence and pride. I was like, oh, I really like this. Like, this is important to me. Then follow that energy and see where does it lead you. And you'll realize, oh, I don't like this. I do like that. So figuring out who you are is a matter of realizing, what does the energy of your soul do when you speak and do certain things? Follow that. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it and don't tune it out. And if you want to know who you are, just try different things and wait for the energetic response. I think it's really important to not try and have it figured out from your mind, because knowing who you are is not a matter of your mind. Knowing who you are is being able to understand, my God, my energy soars when I'm here, here, and here. And it diminishes when I'm here, here, and here, and around these people. So it's knowing those things and then following it. Really important. Thank you. So someone's asked, would you have a meet and greet? Okay, so I wanted to talk about this because I wanted to do, before Miss Universe even, I had said, when we come out of lockdown in Melbourne, I want to have a catch up where we all get together and the Mind With Me crew would come and we'd meet. But is that something you guys would want to do if I maybe try to, once restrictions ease in Melbourne, if we can get together outside, outdoors, and have people, you know, come and hang out, and not like a meet and greet, but let's hang out and make friends. Is that something you guys would want to do? Because if you do, I will try and organize something. I think that could be really fun. And I don't know where we would do it because Melbourne, we are just seeing, like, when are we reopening? We don't know, but okay. Thank you guys. That's very sweet. Okay, it's a yes. It's a resounding yes. We'll do that. And it's I want you all to connect with each other. Melbourne in January. Okay. I'll try and I'll wait and see if even when borders open, what can we do? And I know that, you know, you guys know I love, okay, well, actually, I was speaking to, I love my team at Miss Universe. They're new family to me. And I'm thinking I'm going to try and get around you guys. I'll fly across the world with this. Trisha. So guys, what I'm thinking of doing is, I think I want to come around Australia. So I was talking to the Miss Universe team. I want to do something in Melbourne. I will come to Sydney for sure. I'm going to go to Perth. I know I'll 100% do that because the Miss Universe team is there. And I think I want to go to Queensland, like Brizzy as well. And when I end up going there, I'll let you guys know. And we can have a little bit of a thing. But I will do a virtual one as well. So we'll do like a big Zoom or something. And I think we're going to have to do it in a way where it's like small groups because I think, imagine having like 100 people on a Zoom call, like, like all talking. But I'm going to say this, you guys. Part of my business idea and what I want to be doing in terms of coaching and things like that, it's not just an Australian business. This is a global thing. We're a global community, right? So what I'm going to be doing is I want to be, as part of what my offering is for this business, it's going to be coaching, and I want to do group workshops. And, you know, you can sign up and you can register for that. And I want to be having a lot more, you know, Zoom would be great, but I want to be doing coaching with small enough groups where I can hear all of you. So for example, I'll be doing something like, okay, guys, I'm going to be hosting a workshop on confidence. Who wants to sign up for that? And when you sign up, it's not just me talking to you. You, in a group of say 10, can all bring up your different issues with confidence or whatever it is. And together as a group, like a focus group, we can work through it together. So, you know, in essence, my business idea is I'm going to be working as a coach. So, and I'm really excited because that's my calling and I know it is, and I can't wait to work with you. So I'm very excited. I'm very grateful. My heart. Okay, hang on. Whew. You know when I said, pay attention to what your energy does? Me just saying, I want to be a coach for you. My heart started doing this in the best possible way. And I felt like I was doing this, you know, and that's telling you, that's the universe telling you, you are in the right place, you're on the right track. Pay attention. So yes, I will be coaching internationally. It's not just going to be, you know, Australia. That's why we have the digital space. It's been such a big part of my journey, and I'm going to be coaching internationally too. But Kathy, I saw what you said. So I've been so privileged through the Miss Universe program. I've made friends all over Australia. Kathy and Jade. Kathy, are you here still? Can I please tell you, one of the best things in this community and on social media is I connected with Jade, for example. Jade, please follow her. She is, Kathy, can you please type up Jade's Instagram name here so people can follow her? But Jade is one of the most beautiful women that I met through the Miss Universe Australia program, because she was a state finalist from New South Wales. This is what I mean when I say sisterhood. We connected for some reason just like that, right? We just connected, and we were in each other's DMs, voice clips, encouraging each other, cheering each other on like sisters, and we just became friends, like silly videos, whatever. And then Jade's mum followed me, and she, all of a sudden it feels like I've got another mum in, you know, it's beautiful. And I'm so privileged because doing the Miss Universe Australia program means now, if I go around Australia, I can say to my friends, if I don't want to stay in a hotel, I want to go be with my girls, and I haven't gotten to meet some of them. Like, I could say, Kathy, Jade, I'm sleeping over. let me come, you know, and I feel like, you know, Kiva in South Australia, like, it's like, I'm so grateful, so grateful. Miranda! Oh my goodness, that made my heart flutter. I've been experiencing that feeling of high vibrations lately, and it's powerful. Watching you have that moment was so lovely. Pay attention to the high vibrations, because, yeah, my cheeks hurt from smiling. I'm just, yeah, very grateful, very privileged. And I think together we're going to be doing some incredible, phenomenal things. It's 12 o'clock now, so this episode of Mind With Me has to come to an end. But I promise you guys, I could spend the whole day hanging out with you. I need to go because there are a number of things I need to do now for work. I have work to do. I've been on email, strategizing, doing all these things, and got to get to it. And Axel hasn't been walked in about 4 days, and he's like, you know what? I don't care. You could be queen of the universe and you still have to walk me. So my brother says to me, Maria, you're now the most famous dog walker in Australia. Francesca and Troy! Cheska! So, and that's another thing. Cheska messaged me and she was like, I can't wait to squeeze you in person. So I've got friends. Like, I'm just so wrapped. Guys, Jessica, Troy, hello guys. I'm so excited to have everyone here. So what I'm going to say, my next live, I don't know, because every week I do a Mind With Me episode, and that's what this community is. So there will be one. I always do Mind With Me from Friday to Sunday, but I promise you, I will be just going live at random times because sometimes my family want to hang out on here, and guys, going to be doing a live with Tony. So Tony, he's now been dubbed Uncle Tony by the country. The fact that you guys have all started calling my dad Uncle Tony is, guys, he got asked to do an interview. Uncle Tony is being asked to do an interview. So I'm going to do a live with dad because he is going to want to, the man is a celebrity in himself. So I'll be bringing him on there, and I'm just going to say, you will all be seeing my beautiful, beautiful crown by Stelios and, you know, Justin Martin. I've shared it on my page, but I'm going to be doing my official shots. And once that's released, I'm going back to YouTube to take you on this journey, because it's not just my road to Miss Universe, guys, it's our road to Miss Universe now. So I'm going to be sharing everything. And because we're in a bit of a unique year, let's do it together. So I filmed my reaction to receiving the crown, and I filmed my parents' reaction to, and my brother and Axel, to seeing the crown. So that video will be up on YouTube in a week, because you know what, you and I, we didn't get to have that experience in a normal final, so I've decided to give it to you from my home. So I'm gonna go, guys. Bye, Cheska, Troy, and everybody who is so incredible. Thank you all for joining this live. I'm very excited for Mind With Me. My heart is still like, I'm so grateful. I feel like I'm floating on cloud 9, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. This was Mind With Me episode 22. Thank you for joining this community, and I believe that we have so many exciting things to come. Thank you, and I will probably jump on live in the next couple of days, but I love you all. This will now be on Instagram TV, so please share it, because I feel like a lot of truth was dropped. So I will chat to you soon. All my love. Yes, Cheska, get the room ready, because when I get to Sydney, you're going to be my first stop, okay? Mwah. Love you guys. See you soon. Bye.